Hello. Hi and good evening. Madam Nina, we started discussing about the special sales orders, right? So in which we have discussed about the cash sales process as well as rush order process, and we understand like what is the difference between cash sales order and the rush order. Okay, so technically, I mean, what are the differences? What are the differences? And functionally, what are the differences? Both we understood yesterday. So today, next topic which we are going to discuss here is complaints. Okay, complaints in SAP. Okay, there are like five types of complaints are existing in SAP. The first one is credit memo. So then we have the debit memo. Then we'll be discussing about the returns, invoice correction request, and a free of charge subsequent deliveries. Okay, so we'll be having these five types of complaints. Okay, we'll be discussing one by one. First, we'll be discussing about the credit memo. So credit memo is like it's a generic term, right? So most of the time, like we'll be come across this word, credit memo. So companies will give the credit memo to the customers. Why they'll give the credit memo to the customers? So let's say there are different kinds of scenarios. I'll tell you very important scenarios here. When the customer is overcharged. Okay, so when the customer is overcharged, instead of charging him $100, I charged more than that, $120. So whatever the excess amount, $20, the company will issue the credit memo to the customers. That means because of the credit memo, company's revenue will get reduces. Okay, that means not revenue exactly. You can say company receivables are getting reduced, right? So credit memo will be issued to the customers when the customer is overcharged. Okay, in other case, what we can say here is, okay, when the customer returns the material back to the company, though sometimes he'll not sometimes he'll return the material back to the company, sometimes he may not return the company. Okay, so for example, like we have one pharma company in Bangalore. Okay, so they deliver the goods to the Hyderabad, like with the different orders. Along with the orders, like they'll deliver some box of tablets to one customer, which is worth of like 1,000 rupees, for example. Okay, so now the customer has been realized that the tablets got or medicine got expired. If you want to return that material back to the company, okay, so the returning shipment or logistics cost more than the whatever the product cost. Okay, product cost is 1,000 rupees, but you want to return back to the company, it is costing around 2,000 rupees. At that time, what they'll do is they'll ask the company they'll ask, okay, so they'll ask to the customer to scrap the material there itself. Okay, he may return. Okay, so if the returns happens, they'll issue the credit memo, but sometimes he may not be returning the original material, though company will issue the credit memo to the customer saying that scrap the material at the customer's place, right? So there are different scenarios here. You can see when the customer is overcharged. Okay, so anyway we have the return separately. Here we can assume that, okay, so though customer is not returning the material, company will issue the credit memo to the customers, right? So when the company issues the credit note to the customer, that means company receivables are getting reduced. It is nothing but like we'll be returning the material money back to the customer. Okay, I didn't like the product. Okay, so I'm returning the material back to the company. So they're giving money back to me. Okay, if you go to any shop or any showroom, okay, so they'll issue the credit memo when you return the material. So whatever you want, you can buy later with that slip. That is called as a credit memo, typical credit memo. Right? How this can be configured in SAP, that we are going to discuss here. Okay, how the credit memo will be configured in SAP, that we are going to discuss. Okay, so credit memo nothing but that like company will issue the credit memo to the customers when the customer is overcharged, or when the company customer returns the material back to the company, or so though sometimes he is not returning the material, so customer scraps the material there itself. It can be expired, it can be damaged during the transit, whatever it is the case. So company will issue the credit note to the customer, whatever the total worth of that material. So for that, company will issue the credit note. Right? How this process can be configured? So you can see here process flow. So let's assume that we are going to create the normal order first. Then we'll create the delivery. Okay, let's say we are placing the order for 10 quantity. We are delivering 10 quantity. We are doing picking and PJ for 10 quantity. So then we are getting the billing document for 10 quantity. Now the customer got the damaged product or damaged during transit, or the material is not it is not in good condition. Okay, our customer is overcharged. In this case, so company will be creating the credit memo request. It's a request. So it is kind of sales document. Okay, so credit memo request is a sales document which can be created with reference to sales order number, or we can take the billing document number, either billing document number or sales order number. We can take any document as a reference to create the credit memo request. First, we need to create the request. Okay, so credit memo request is a sales document. Just remember this word. Okay, so it is a sales document. It is kind of sales order only. Okay, it is a sales document which can be created with reference to sales order, or we can take the reference of billing document. Right, so either of these two, so we can take anything, nothing wrong in that. Okay, so we'll take the reference of sales order or billing document, then we'll create the credit memo request. The sales document type which we use for the credit memo request here is G2 or CR. G2 in German, CR in credit memo request. It will be in English. Same way how we have cash sales, right? CS or BV. So either of these two we can use. Even if I enter BV, system will consider it as a cash sales only. CS also, it will be cash sales only. So nothing wrong if we can take any of these two. Okay. So I'm creating the credit memo request. Okay, by getting into VA01. So I use the sales document type for the credit memo request, CR or G2. Both are same. Okay, once we save the credit memo request, okay, then so once request approves, then we'll issue the credit memo to the customer. Okay, credit memo is a billing document. So why I'm calling it as a billing document? Because of credit memo, whenever I'm issuing the credit memo to the customer, my accounting documents will get updated. When you sell something, when you save the billing document, accounting documents are getting generated. Customer account is getting debited, and revenue account is getting created here. Okay, but when you issue the credit memo, it will be reversed, right? So okay, so accounting documents need to be generated because we are giving money back to the customer. That has to be affect my accounts. So that is the reason I'm calling it as a billing document. Okay, this billing document type which you use here for the credit memo is G2. Okay, here it is F2, here it is credit memo is billing document. Okay, which will be used as a G2. Credit memo always will be created with reference to credit memo request. Credit memo request is a sales document. Credit memo is a billing document. Just remember like if we go for interviews, they'll ask this question like, what is the credit memo request? What is credit memo? Credit memo request is a sales document which can be created with reference to sales order, original sales order, or we can create we can create the credit memo request with reference to billing document. And credit memo is billing document which will be created with reference to credit memo request. So that is the main difference what you can see between credit memo request as well as credit memo. Right. So now what I'll do is we'll run this scenario in SAP, how it works. So we understood what is credit memo, how it works in SAP, then how to configure that in SAP, that we are going to see now. Okay. So I'm going to SAP now. First of all, I'll go the same process, same flow I'll go. Okay. I'll create the normal order. So I'm going to VA01. Okay. I'm creating the order. So I'm entering my sales organization, distribution channel, division, which is created by us. Enter the customer number, all like information, whatever I required. So I'm just entering. Enter the material, our material Safari. I'm placing the order for 10 pieces. Okay, that should be fine. Go to edit, check the incompletion log. Okay, so document is complete. Now I'm going to save the order. So now I'm going to create the delivery as per this process. So if you see here, I just created the order. Now I'm going to create the delivery. Okay, so enter your shipping point. Sorry. Yeah. So enter the order number. Go to picking tab. Enter the storage location. From which store location you want to make the delivery. How much quantity you want to pick. Okay, so 10 quantity. So I'm delivering 10 quantity. That is the reason I'm picking 10 quantity. It's a manual picking. Then I'm doing PCI directly here. So my inventory will get updated now. Now I'm going to create the billing document. Okay, so now 19,000 or 19 lakhs something, 50,000, whatever it is. Okay, now I'm going to save the billing document. My billing document is created. Sales order is created, delivery is created, picking and PCA is done, and billing document also created. Now, so assume that the stock, whatever we created, whatever we delivered to the customer, that is damaged or expired. So now I want to issue the credit memo to the customer. If you want to issue the credit memo first, like we need to create the credit memo request. So we need to raise a request, right? That is called as technically it is called as a credit memo request. So credit memo request is a sales document. I need to create the credit memo request by getting into VA0 because it is a sales document. So to create the credit memo request, we can take the sales order as a reference or billing document as a reference. Okay, so I'll copy the billing document number. So we can take the order number also, whatever you like. Okay, so now I'm going to VA01. So what is the sales document type which you use for credit memo request? What is the sales document type? What is the sales document type for the credit memo request?
G2 or CR.
Exactly. Okay. So I'm entering CR or G2, whatever you like. So we can create the credit memo request, standalone credit memo request, but in our scenario, so I want to create the credit memo request with reference to order or billing document, whatever, right? So we can create without reference also, but will be standalone. It is not linked to any sales order, right? It is not the correct way, but I want to issue the credit memo for the quantity whatever we have delivered to the customers, right? Okay, so create with reference. There is a create with reference button here, which we already know that. I'm entering the billing document number. If you want to create with reference to order, then click on the order tab, enter the order number. So all the details will be copied from billing document to create memo request, right? Create memo request, copy. So everything is getting copied here. So enter only PO number if you like to enter, PO date, whatever date, right? So now usually there will be billing block automatically will come. Like someone might have deleted it, but I'll tell you why it will come. So let me check why it is not coming. It should come billing block because we are dealing with the money, right? So some authorized person should approve that. Someone might have deleted it. Like let me check. Yeah, someone has removed it. Check create move. Okay, so let me create it again. V01. So I want to create with reference to billing document. Enter the billing document. Copy the details. So enter PO number, PO date. Okay, so everything is, if you want to see some observations, first of all, I'll double click on the material. So check the item category G2N. Okay, there will not be schedule lines. Okay, whenever there is a delivery, then only we'll have the schedule lines. If we don't have the delivery, that means there will not be schedule lines. We have only sales document and billing document. We don't have the delivery documents. So because schedule lines, he always talks about the delivery details, right? So that is the reason we'll not have the schedule lines whenever there is no delivery. Okay, so that is the reason credit memo request also will not have schedule lines here. Just remember the item category which you use for the credit memo request is G2N. Okay, so everything is fine here. Now another observation what we need to do here is billing block. Check credit memo. So this is very important in when you're working for the projects. Okay, so in real time, right? So the billing block will be released by some authorized manager, like financial manager. So just like that, we cannot issue the credit memo to the customers, right? Whenever we feel like clerk cannot be issued because so whenever we create the request, so the mail will be sent to the authorized person, authorized financial manager. He'll review the request. Once everything is fine, then only he'll remove this block. Until unless we remove the block, we'll not be able to issue the credit memo. Why it is billing block? So credit memo is nothing but a billing document. Okay, until unless we release that block, so we'll remove that block, so we'll not be able to issue the credit memo. That we'll see how to release that also. Okay, so here we can delete directly because we are the admins here. But in when you're working for the project, when you're working for the client, only certain authorized person, they'll be able to, in production server, they'll be able to remove this block manually. Okay, so now, so I'll not remove that. I'll show you like if you don't remove what will happen. So then we'll remove it. Then we'll try to process the credit memo. So everything is fine for me. So before we save any sales document, the recommended is check the completion log, incompletion log. Okay, so it is asking for order reason. Incompletion log, it is showing enter the order reason. Why are you creating the incomplete create move request? So you need to enter the proper reason here. So click on complete data. It will take you to that field directly. Right? So here you can say whatever the poor quality, damage in transit. Okay, whatever the reason you wanted to select, you can select. So click on this arrow. My order is complete now. So now I'm ready to save the create more request. Right? Create more request has been created. So as per this flow, we created the sales order, we created the delivery, we created the picking and PG. So we have done with the billing document. Then we have taken the billing document as a reference. Either you can, when you're practicing, you can take sales order number also as a reference. Then we are getting the create memo request. So sales document type which you use for the create memo request, we can use either CR or G2. Right? So now, so we are going to create the create memo. Create memo is a billing document. So we will be getting into VF01 and creating the create memo. VF01. So this is my create memo request number. If I try to enter, system will say that it is incorrect. Why it is incorrect? Go to edit, check the log. You can see the log also. See here, the document is blocked for billing. The document is blocked for billing. Right? So now, so because we have the block, you have the billing block in the sales order, sales document in create more request. Right? So we need to remove that. So in projects, when you're working for the any client, so basically some authorized person will go and review the create more request. He'll go here in this field. He'll remove the block manually. Right? He'll put it blank. He'll remove the black. He'll remove the bling block. Okay, so then save it. Now, if I go to VF01, enter the number. Now we are able to create the create memo. Create memo is a billing document which will update the accounting documents. Then save it. Right? So create memo has been created. So create memo is a billing document which will be created with reference to create memo request, which is sales document. That means it is order related billing. Right? So if you want to see the entire flow also, you can see. If I go to change mode of any document, it can be delivery, it can be order, it can be create more request or billing document or whatever. Just go to change mode or display mode. There is a display button like document flow button. You can see entire flow, order, delivery, invoice, create more request, create more. Entire thing you can see. Right? So this is how we can run the complete create memo process. Now we need to understand why system is behaving differently than normal order. Why create memo request is differently acting than regular order. Right? Why it is system is not creating the delivery here? Why it is not creating the delivery? Okay, why system will not allow you to create the delivery also? If you try to create the delivery also, system will not allow. So how the system understand that for create memo request there is no delivery? We are human beings, we'll understand that. But how the mission, our application will understand that? Because of the document type settings and item category settings. Right now we'll see the settings of document type settings of create more requests. We already know the settings of standard order. Okay, standard item category and schedule line category. The same way we discussed about the casual order CS as well as BVN item category. So RO, rush order sales document types also we have seen yesterday. Now we are going to see the settings of create more requests G2. Why system is behaving differently than regular order. Okay, so that we are going to see now. So sales document type settings, right? So Vivo V8 CR. I selected the CR. Create more request. Even if you select the G2 also, it will open the same thing. Okay. See, if I select G2 also, it will take you to CR only. See here. CR only it is taking. So let me show you. So if I select G2, also it will take you to CR. Both are same. See here. The first observation what we need to see here is sales document category. What is the sales document category for the inquiry? What is the sales document category for the inquiry? So Antamu session lo chusam last week. It is A, right?
A.
Sales document category for the quotation? B.
B.
Sales document, exactly. So sales document category for the order is
C.
C. So based on the setting only, system understand that whether it is inquiry, quotation, or order, right? The same way. So K means system understand that it is a credit memo request. So I'm calling it as a sales document. So say inquiry is also one type of sales document, quotation also one type of sales document, order also one type of sales document, and credit memo request also one type of sales document. But how the system will understand that whether it is a credit memo request or normal order because of this credit memo request document category. Sorry, document category. Okay, document category for credit memo request is K. Because of this setting only, system understand that it is a credit memo request. Right? That is the one thing, very important thing we need to understand. Coming down, so what are the other settings we need to remember here is, if you see here, delivery document type is blank. Because of this setting only, we will not be able to create the delivery for the credit move request. For normal order, the delivery document type which is assigned here is LF. Because we need to create the delivery for the normal order. But credit move request, there is no delivery is required. We're issuing the credit memo to the customers which are already delivered. Right? So that is the reason for credit memo request, it is not relevant for delivery. Because so we did not assign the document type here. Okay, so another setting is order type, order related billing type. So we are creating the credit memo with reference to credit memo request. Credit memo request is a sales document, credit memo is a billing document. So it is a order related billing. So how the system will understand that it is a order related billing? Because of this setting, G2. So whenever I'm creating the credit memo request with the sales document type CR, the order related billing document type will be G2. So if you see a delivery related billing document type is blank, right? Because of this setting only system understand that. So we need to create the billing document with reference to order. Even if I try, like there will not be delivery. If you try to enter the delivery number, other delivery number, system will not consider that. Okay, so now, which is very important setting, billing block. Because of this setting only, we are getting the block in the sales document. That is in create more request. We are getting the block, right? So in which we are going to remove this manually whenever we create the create more request because of the setting only. Every time whenever I create the create more request, I'll get the block. So in projects, okay, when you're looking for any client, so they'll authorize some authorized person, they will review the create more request and they'll remove the block in the sales document type level directly, sales document level. Right. So these are the main settings need to remember in the sales document type settings in CR. Now moving on to the item category Vivo V7. G2N is my item category, right? So if I go to G2N, okay, go to here. So billing relevance is C. So C nothing but order related billing. See, order relevant for order related billing. Relevant for order related billing. Okay, so these are one of the important setting need to remember. So remaining pricing X. Okay, that should be fine. It is relevant for pricing. So another important thing is schedule lines allowed is not activated. For TAN, it is activated. Schedule lines are activated. So that is the reason we are able to create the schedule lines, delivery dates and delivery quantity. For create more requests, we don't require the delivery. So if you don't require delivery, then schedule lines should not be required. So if you don't want to create the schedule lines, then this checkbox should not be activated. So just because this schedule line checkbox is not activated, so that is the reason system is not created the schedule lines in while getting the create more requests. Schedule lines are not required for the create more request because of this setting. So these two settings are very important to remember for the item category controlling elements for the create more request. Right? So this is about the create more request. So any questions here in the create more request or create more process? Any questions? Any doubts in the create more process?
Clear, Andy.
Okay, thank you. So now, so we understood about the credit memo. Now moving on to debit memo. So debit memo, mere try it. So I'll give you the concept. So you have to try it. Okay, it's similar to credit memo. So idea on that, what is the difference between credit memo and debit memo?
We debit customer's account if we have sent in excess, if we have sent any material in excess. Let's say he ordered 10, but we sent him 12, but it's not recorded in the system.
Exactly.
For that 2, we'll have to do a debit.
So exactly, that means customer is undercharged in this case, right? So we supposed to charge him 12 quantity, but we charged only for 10 quantity.
Right.
So that means he is undercharged. So whenever the customer is charged less than what he has to be, so in this case, companies will issue the credit debit memo to the customers. When the customer is overcharged, credit memo will be issued. That means we are giving money back to the customer. When the customer is charged less, then company has to collect the money from the customer. So in this case, we'll issue the debit memo to the customers. So here, the same way, we need to create the debit memo also. The document type which you use for the debit memo will be, so here it is wrong. Actually, it's a debit memo request, which will be used, the sales document type which will be used here is L2 or G2, sorry, L2 or DR. Okay, whereas for the credit memo, it is G2 or CR. Here it is L2 or DR. So first we'll create the normal order, then we'll create the debit delivery, picking and pay is A, and billing document is the same way. Now assume that the customer is charged less. Okay, then we need to create the debit memo request. Okay, so debit memo request, the sales document type which you use for the debit memo request is L2 or DR. Okay, so L2 or DR will be created with reference to sales order, or it can be created with the billing document. The same way how we created the debit memo request, right? So once we create the debit memo request, so then there will be billing block again because of because of the settings. Okay, so there will be billing block. Some authorized person will remove that block. Okay, when you're practicing, you can remove that directly. Okay, so we'll remove the billing block in the debit memo request. Okay, so then we'll issue the debit memo. Okay, debit memo, the document type will be used for the debit memo is L2. So just remember, debit memo is a billing document, whereas debit memo request is sales document. Debit memo request always will be created with reference to sales document or sales order, or you can take the reference of billing document, whatever you like. Okay, so and need to remember here is, so what is the item category? What is the, okay, let me write it here. Create memo request, right? Create memo.
సుధాకర్ గారు డెబిట్ మెమోకి ఆప్షన్ L2 అండి. డెబిట్ మెమో
సేల్స్ డాక్యుమెంట్ టైప్ అండి.
కాదు, బిల్లింగ్ డాక్యుమెంట్.
Yes, exactly. Billing document L2 అండి. Okay.
L2.
Yeah. So CR or G2 is a sales document type. I'm writing here. Item category is G2N and billing document type is G2. Right. So if this is sales document type, it is item category, and this is billing document type. Whereas for debit memo, it is L2. So you can say DR or L2. L2N is item category and L2 is billing document. Okay. So if you want to see the settings here, the same way, I'll go to Vivo V8. See here, document category for debit memo request, it is L. Whereas for credit memo request, it was K, right? Because of this setting, system understand that it is a debit memo request. For credit memo, it was K. For debit memo, it is L, right? Just remember this. This is a very important setting. This remaining setting is same as credit memo. See here, order related billing type is L2. There is no delivery type is like delivery type is blank here, and billing block is 09, so which is check debit memo. Because of the setting only, whenever we create the debit memo request, we'll get the block. Some authorized person will remove that block manually, right? So check debit memo. So these are the settings you need to remember. And if you go to the item category, Vivo V7, here we have L2N. Okay, so everything same as create memo request. Okay, so billing relevance is C, that is order related billing, that we already know that order relevant for order related billing. Okay, schedule lines are not activated, so because we don't require the schedule lines for the debit memo also, because there is no delivery. We're just issuing the document to the customers. for updating his accounting entries, right? So there is no delivery. So these are the two settings need to be remembered here. Clear? So this is about the debit memo. Okay, you need to practice it. So debit memo, you can try. So very easy. It's the same as credit memo process, right? So doubts unte adagani cheptanu. Fine. So now moving on to next. So we discuss about the complaints. So we started discussing about the complaints, where we discuss about the credit memo, debit memo. Now we'll discuss about the returns first. Okay. So returns ఏంటంటే, so credit memo first scenario ఏం చేసాము? So we are issuing the credit memo to the customer, though he is not returning the material, or when the customer is overcharged, whatever. Okay. So though he is not returning the material, we are issuing the credit memo to the customers. But in this scenario, customer is returning the damaged product back to the company. So I bought I bought a phone in Amazon. So I didn't like the product. So there is a small issue in phone. Okay, what I'll do is I have to return it back to them. Okay, once we return that, so once they receive the return material, they'll issue the credit memo to the customer. Whatever the product cost, that amount will be credited to customer's account. So I mean, it will be issued to the customers. So that is credited to the customer's account, right? So the same. Okay, so because of this credit memo, again, company receivables are getting reduced. Whereas when you issue the debit memo, company receivables are getting increased. Just try to understand that. So how the returns will be managed in SAP? Okay, first of all, we need to we need to create the normal order, delivery, billing, everything same as normal process. Then we need to issue the returns also, right? Because company is going to receive the damaged products back to the company, right? How they are going to manage the damaged product, right? So whatever the product they are received, for that they will be issuing the credit memo. So how that can be configured in SAP, that we are going to see now. Okay, so if you see the process flow, first of all, we'll create the normal order, delivery. So order I'm going to create for one quantity, delivery for one quantity, picking PA for one quantity. So I'm going to bill to the customer for one quantity, and the customer returning that material because of it is damaged, or it is not working properly. So I'm going to create the return order. So return order is a sales document which will be created with reference to sales order, or we can take the billing document as a reference, either of these two, like credit memo request or debit memo request. Okay, I'm going to create the return order with reference to sales order or billing document. Then we'll create the return delivery. Okay, so before that, return order sales document type is RE, whereas return delivery, okay, sales delivery document type is LR. So I'm going to create the return delivery here. Then we'll be doing the post goods receipt. Okay, whereas when you're delivering the goods to the customers, it is an issue. Here we are going to receive the material, right? We are going to receive the material. Company is going to receive the material. That is the reason we will be calling it as a post goods receipt. Post goods receipt, right? So once we receive the material, we need to issue the credit memo to the customer. Okay, so we need to issue the credit for, it will be called as a credit for returns. Specifically, it will be called as a credit for returns. So it is just credit memo here. So it's just a credit memo. But in returns, we need to call it as a credit for returns. So we need to issue the credit for returns. Okay, so this credit for returns is a billing document which will be created with reference to return order. So the arrow should not be with the delivery. So credit for returns always will be created with reference to return order. Again, it is a order related billing. So this arrow, don't consider this arrow. So you need to create the returns for credit or credit for returns with reference to return order. The sales document type which you use for the return order is RE. Return delivery, it is for delivery document type for the return delivery is LR. And credit for returns billing document type is RE. It is a kind of credit memo only. Okay, so how this process can be configured in SAP, that we are going to see now. Okay, let me create the order. First of all, normal order I'll create. I'll just go through the process, the same process, whatever I have mentioned here. I'll go to create the sales order.
సుధాకర్ గారు,
చెప్పండి.
మనము ఆల్రెడీ ఒక ఆర్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసాం కదా, కెన్ వి నాట్ టేక్ ద సేమ్ ఆర్డర్ అండ్ డూ దిస్ రిటర్న్స్?
సో యాక్చువల్గా అదేంటంటే అది ప్రాసెస్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది కదండి. అది మనం అకౌంటింగ్, సో ఇది ఫ్లో కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది. మనం క్రెడిట్ మూవ్ ఇచ్చేసాం వాళ్ళకు.
Oh, correct.
So
But yeah, that order is closed. Correct. Got
exactly, yeah. మళ్ళీ చేయాలంటే మనం క్రియేట్ మో క్యాన్సిల్ చేసి క్రియేట్ మో
Got it.
yeah,
Yeah, I got it. Sorry. Thanks.
yeah. So that is the reason I'm creating the new order here. I'm going to create the new order. Check the completion line. So I'm going to save the order. Let me update the order, like it has some pricing mismatch. Minus loss maybe. Okay, so I'm going to save the order. Now I'm going to create the delivery. Enter the store location, picked quantity, PZA. Okay, I'm going to create the billing document. So that means I'm going to deliver the I had delivered the quantity 10 quantity to the customers. I bill for 10 quantity. That should be fine. So now, okay, as per the process, so I want to create the return order. So it can be partial quantity or full quantity, whatever you like. So now I'm going to take the billing document as a reference. You can take the sales order also, whatever you like. I'm just copying the billing document number. I'll go to VA01. So return order sales document type which you use for the return order is RE, right? So how many sales document types we have discussed till now? So inquiry, quotation, order, cash sales, rush order, right? Credit move request, debit move request. So now we are going to create the return order. So RE is a seventh one or eighth one. Okay, sales document type which you're going to create. We can create the standalone return order, okay, without taking any reference also. But in my scenario, I want to create the return order with reference to billing document or sales document. So enter the billing document number. Copy all the details will be copied from billing to return order, right? So we need to enter the order reason. Why are you creating the return order? You can say damaged in transit or poor quality, whatever you like. So if you see here, billing block is coming automatically, right? So we cannot issue the credit memo just like that. Until unless we remove this block, system will not allow you to issue the credit memo, right? So press enter. I'll check the incompletion log. Return order I'm creating, right? Before we save the return order, we'll do some observations here. Item category is REN. So returns item category is REN. Let me write it here. Sales document type is RE. Item category is REN. Okay, so here scheduling category we are going to see here because there is a physical movement of the stock, right? So there is a delivery is required. So the scheduling category which we use for the return order is DN. Just remember this one. Okay, so DN. Scheduling category. Scheduling category is DN. Okay, so everything's fine. I'll go and save the return order now. So now I'm going to create the return delivery. Go to VL01N. Enter the order number. So here we have the store location TC01. So which you're going to receive the material. If you see here, post goods receipt. Earlier we used to have like post goods issue, right? For normal delivery. Here it is a return delivery. So here we have post goods receipt. But if you see the picked quantity, it is grayed out. I'll not be able to enter the picked quantity. Why? What is the reason behind that? In normal delivery, we used to enter the picked quantity, right? How much quantity we need to deliver, that quantity we used to pick it up by entering the value manually here. But this picked quantity is like, it is inactive, or we will not be able to enter the value here. Why? What is the reason?
Because
The goods.
Sorry, what is that?
We are not issuing the goods, right? We are receiving the goods here.
Exactly. So we are going to receive the goods from the customers, right? So as a returns, so we are not going to pick up the quantity here. We are not going to pick up the materials from my warehouse. I'm going to receive the goods from the customer's place. So it is not required to pick the material here. So it is grayed out. We will not be able to pick the quantity. So before we save, or before we do the goods receipt, we'll check the stock also, because our stock should be increased, right? If I go to MMB, okay, so Safari. So what is the stock is available? 1455. So once we receive the material, what should be the stock now? మనం ఒకసారి మనం పీజీఆర్ చేసిన తర్వాత, పోస్ట్ గుడ్స్ రిసిప్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత, సో స్టాక్ షుడ్ బి
56,
right? So let me try that. So I'm doing the post goods receipt. So PGR is done. So inventory should update here. Still it is 55 only. Why? So any idea? ఎందుకండి? So there is a logic behind that. మన స్టాక్ వచ్చినా కూడా స్టాక్ అప్డేట్ అవ్వట్లేదు.
ఇంకా because it's not closed yet.
No, so గూడ్స్ రిసిట్ అంటే గూడ్స్ ఇష్యూ కానీ గూడ్స్ రిసిట్ కానీ ఇన్వెంటరీ అప్డేషన్ అండి. 100% ఇన్వెంటరీ అప్డేట్ అయింది, కానీ ఇక్కడ కనపడట్లేదు. సో వై? బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ డ్యామేజ్డ్ ప్రొడక్ట్. మన డ్యామేజ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ తీసుకొచ్చి అగైన్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్, ఇఫ్ యూ గోయింగ్ టు షో ఇట్ ఇన్ అన్రిస్ట్రిక్టెడ్ స్టాక్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ అన్రిస్ట్రిక్టెడ్ స్టాక్? It can be delivered to any customers again, right? So damaged product, how can you deliver to the other customers again? It has to be shown in different category. It should be in blocked stock, right? If I double click on this, okay, so it has to display, like, if you see here, returns are updated. Someone might have created returns before, but it will get updated here, return stock, right? So it has to be updated in the blocked stock. So total, like, we are going to receive the material and updating in the return stock.
So
Okay.
మనం రిటర్న్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు వేర్ ఇస్ ఇట్ షోన్ దట్ a damaged product is being returned?
సో అంటే మన ఆర్డర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ రిటర్న్ ఆర్డర్ అండి అది.
It could be like he doesn't want it, and ఇప్పుడు he doesn't want it and he's returning it. It's not damaged, it's in good condition and resellable condition అనుకుంటే.
సో లైక్
what?
అది కంపెనీ వాళ్ళకి తెలియదండి. until unless they don't do the quality inspection, how they'll know that it is like a working condition or not working condition? The moment once you receive the material from the customers, though it is not damaged, they'll not put it in the unrestricted stock, right? So they need to see that.
Inspect చేయాలి. Correct.
Yeah. So that is the reason first they'll keep it in returns category. They verify it. So if it's working fine, then they'll move the stock from return stock to unrestricted stock.
Okay.
So that is quality team. They'll do that. That is not our duty. మన డ్యూటీ ఏంటి? సో రిటర్న్స్ మనం వచ్చాయి లేదా మన దగ్గరికి, అంతే. దట్ ఈస్ అవర్ డ్యూటీ యాజ్ ఎస్డి కన్సల్టెంట్. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఈ రిటర్న్ స్టాక్ నుంచి అన్రిస్ట్రిక్టెడ్ స్టాక్ కు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయడం మన డ్యూటీ కాదనమాట. వి డోంట్ కేర్ అబౌట్ దట్.
Okay. Straight away just put it as returns.
That's it. So మనం రిటర్న్స్ వచ్చాయంటే, సో వాళ్ళు క్వాలిటీ టీమ్ దే విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ టు ద పిక్చర్. సో దే విల్ వెరిఫై ఆల్ ది మెటీరియల్స్. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డ్యామేజ్డ్ ఆర్ జస్ట్ గాట్ ది రిటర్న్స్, దే విల్ వెరిఫై ఇట్ and they'll, if you're working condition, they'll move it to unrestricted stock again.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah. So now we got the material as a returns, right? So now we'll issue the, if you see here, so
Lucky?
Sorry,
why are you watching video?
So mute లో పెట్టుకుంటారండి.
నాకు తెలియట్లేదు అసలు, మొత్తం అదే కథలో ఉంది. ఇందాక 5 minutes అని చెప్పి పట్టుకెళ్ళాడు
శివ గారు. సో మీరు మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టుకుంటారు. Okay, so now I'm going to create the credit memo, right? So whatever, like, if you see here, so whatever the returns we have received from the customer, we need to issue the credit memo to the customer. So it is called as a credit for returns. So credit for returns always will be created with reference to return order. It will not be reference to delivery. Always it will be reference to return order only, which is called as a order related billing again. So I'll go to VF01. So why I'm getting incorrect? Check the log. So what does that mean? So
You have to take off the billing block.
Exactly. So I'll go to VA02 return order. So we need to remove that block. Check create memo, right? So we have verified it. So then save it. Then we'll go to VF01 again. Enter the number, then save it. So my create move has been created. If you want to see the entire flow again, go to change mode or display mode of any document. It can be order, it can be delivery, it can be billing document, it can be create move request, it can be return order, it can be return delivery, or it can be return create memo, whatever. So just go change mode or display mode, click on document flow button. You can see the entire flow here: order, delivery, invoice, return order, return delivery. So then we have the create for returns. Right. So this is the way you can process the, you can proceed with the returns process. Now, how the system is understanding that if that is a return order and how system is behaving differently than other orders, right, for the returns. So we need to see that one. So based on settings, I'll go to Vivo V8. I'll go to return order RE. Just go to details. So says document category H. H means it is a returns order, right? So because of the setting only, system understand that it is a return order. So if it is inquiry, it is A. B means quotation, C means order. So then we discussed about the create move request K, debit move request L. Then we have the H. So it is returns, right? So just remember this one. So sometimes they'll ask you, what is the different document categories, So we need to tell these things only: inquiry, quotation, order. So till now, we discussed about the create move request, so debit move request, then returns also, right? So this is the one thing. And so coming down, delivery document type, so LR. So whenever I create the RE return order, so automatically LR will be coming as delivery document type. It's a return delivery, right? So because of this setting only. Then order related billing document type, RE. Okay, which is create for returns, right? Create for returns, RE. And billing block, because of this setting only, so we are getting the check create move billing block in the return order. So these are the main settings need to remember in the document type. So now coming to the item category, which controls the item data in the return order, VOV7. So item category is REN. Okay, so you see here, billing relevance is B. So which is order related billing, relevant for order related, right? Order related billing. So then we have schedule lines. We have the delivery document is created, right? Return delivery. For that, we have the schedule lines is activated, and return checkbox is activated. So because of this setting only, system understand that this is the item which is relevant for delivery, return delivery, or returns, you can say. Right? So this is the one thing. So these are the main settings need to remember. So first one is billing relevance. So then we have the schedule lines are allowed because we need to have the delivery for the returns. Then returns checkbox is activated. Okay, so one more thing I forgot to show you during the delivery return order. Okay, so in the return order, so the REN is a item category, and we have the schedule line category as DN also. So because we have delivery, we should see the schedule line settings also, right? If I go to the schedule lines, okay, Vivo V6, so DN. So if I go to DN, like this is, so document type, delivery document type is 651. Okay, movement type, like movement type is 651. So what are the movement types we discussed till now? For stock posting, the movement type is 561. For normal delivery to the customers, right? So goods issue, when you do the goods issue, 601 movement type will be triggered and stock will get updates, right? Because of 601. But the same way, so returns, for returns delivery, whenever we do the post goods receipt, this movement type 651 movement type will be triggered and my stock will get updates in the return stock, blocked stock, right? Because of this movement type, very, very important. So these movement types like 561 movement type, 601 movement type, and 651 movement type. So these are the three movement types which we discussed till now. In future, we'll be discuss about the other movement types also. But remember, whatever the movement types we are discussing, right? So then, so we have movement type. So these are one of the important setting we need to remember in the scheduling category, right? So these are the about the returns process. Okay. Any questions here?
Sudhakar garu, మీరు ఇందాక I wanted to ask something, but I'm a little confused. I don't know if it makes sense with my question.
Yeah, parలేదు.
మీరు when we are creating a billing document, after creating an order, మనం billing document కూడా అయినాక, when we are creating a complaint or a credit memo or a debit memo, you said it's up to the option is VA01, right?
Yeah, VA01. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
VA01. Appudu, it doesn't matter whether you take the billing document or the order type as reference. You can directly do the memos ani annaru.
Standalone
what you said?
Yeah, so standalone గా క్రియేట్ చేసి డైరెక్ట్ గా మనం క్రెడిట్ మెమో ఇవ్వచ్చు, కానీ ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ బి రెఫరెన్స్ టు ఎనీ అదర్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అన్నమాట.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ that was my question. ఇప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్ గా మనం చేస్తే ఈ ఆర్డర్ కి ఈ క్రెడిట్ మెమో అని మనకి రెఫరెన్స్ ఉండదు కదా. సో we have to necessarily do it with reference,
సో
right?
సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే మనకు రెఫరెన్స్ చేయకుండా కూడా, సో ఒకసారి నాకు కస్టమర్ వచ్చేసి నాకు సార్ నాకు లాస్ట్ 10-15 ఆర్డర్స్ నుంచి నాకు సో ప్రైస్ సరిగా లేదంటే ఒకసారి కటసీ మీద బిజినెస్ వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారు అనమాట, బిజినెస్ నుంచి కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు వితౌట్ ఎనీ రెఫరెన్స్ అనమాట, డైరెక్ట్ స్టాండ్ అలోన్ క్రెడిట్ మెమోస్ ఇస్తారు అనమాట. సో అందుకని
ఓకే సో దట్స్ ద పాయింట్. గాట్ ఇట్.
ఓకే.
సుధాకర్ గారు, దిస్ ఇస్ శశాంక్ అండి. యాక్చువల్లీ బడ్జెట్ సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందండి ఇంకో 2 minutes.
అవునా? ఓకే, ష్యూర్ అండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. సో నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి 1.5 hours పెట్టండి ఈవినింగ్ కూడా మనకు, ఎందుకంటే సో
1.5 hours అండి. షూర్ అండి. యా థాంక్స్ సుధాకర్ గారు.
ఓకే. సో ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్ అండి? సో మనకు వేరే సెషన్ ఉందంట. సో మనకు సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి రిటర్న్స్ అయిపోయింది. రిటర్న్స్ తర్వాత మనకు సో ఇన్వాయిస్ కరెక్షన్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఒకటి ఉంది, తర్వాత ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ చార్జ్ సబ్సిక్వెంట్ డెలివరీ ఉంది. సో ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ చార్జ్ సబ్సిక్వెంట్ డెలివరీ మీరు ట్రై చేయండి, నేను లైక్ కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్తాను. సో మనం ఇంతవరకు ఏం చేస్తామంటే రిటర్న్స్ లో, సో వీ హావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ ది రిటర్న్ ఆర్డర్, వీ హావ్ గాట్ ది రిటర్న్స్ అండ్ వీఆర్ ఇష్యూయింగ్ ది మనీ బ్యాక్ టు ది కస్టమర్స్. సో మనకు వచ్చిన రిటర్న్స్ కు మనము మనీ ఇచ్చేస్తున్నాం వాడికి. సో కస్టమర్ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు బై ఎనీథింగ్, బట్ when you're talking about the free of charge subsequent deliveries, he don't want money, he don't want to be issued with the credit memo, he want to have the replacement of the particular material. For that we'll create the free of charge subsequent order. Here if you see here, first we'll create the order, delivery, picking and PGA, billing document. So this is a very basic process. Then we'll create the return order, return delivery, post goods receipt. So we don't have the credit memo here, we are not issuing the credit memo. So instead, we are going to create the free of charge subsequent order. That means we are going to create the another order without charging anything. It can be called as a replacement order. Then we'll create the normal delivery. We'll do the picking and PG, and there is no billing also because we already billed him here. Right? That we can process, that we can try, but we'll discuss again this on the next session. Okay, na? సో నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం. సో మోస్ట్ ప్రాబ్లీ నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ మనకు బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ అవుతాయండి. ఆ తర్వాత ఇక్కడ నుంచి మనం ప్రైజింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే, ప్రైజింగ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ప్రైజింగ్ అయిపోతే ఆల్మోస్ట్ మనకు 50 to 60% అయిపోతుంది అనమాట మన టాపిక్స్. సో దాని తర్వాత 50% ఉంటాయి. సో అవి కూడా కొంచెం కాంప్లికేటెడ్ ఉంటాయి. సో అంతవరకు మీకు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేయండి. ఓకే అండి, ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్?
షూర్ సుధాకర్ గారు, థ్యాంక్స్ అండి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Yeah.